We're having a monthly series on our favorite volunteers. This month's Pat Beerhalter. Pat is a force of nature. She gets more stuff done than anybody I've ever known. So I'd like you all to welcome her to the stage so she can tell us all about her volunteer activities.
Well, good morning, everyone. God, what a morning. You are taking home a load of stuff. Yeah, I'm Pat Beerhalter, and I wear many hats, my choice. And my focus is on volunteerism, in particular for the Wildwood Booster Club. And I want to preface that by saying that, and I'm going to give a little back history and stuff. I'm going to try to edit in person my 13 note cards because I don't want you to sit through all of that. I'm going to try to pick out the things that are most important about the boosters. And I have these all numbered so I don't mess them up too. I have no problem speaking in front of people. I do have a little bit of a problem staying organized. And if my husband were here, he'd say, yeah, come take a look at our house. There's no doubt about that. So I have this in quotes, and it's one that we use, and a similar one was used by Hillary Clinton years back when she did the book, which I'm sure you all remember. If I ask you to quote that title, it takes indeed. It takes a community. And I'm using the word community because we need to understand that we are 150,000 strong here in the villages, but Sumter County is more than the villages. And the students who live in this county are supported by residents of the villages and the communities in which those schools exist that the students attend. So the Wildwood Booster Club is part of the community that supports students of Wildwood Middle High School, which is located at 700 Huey Street in the town of Wildwood. It is a public school. It is our school, the school for which we pay our school taxes. The Booster Club was created, I need another arm and another hand. The Booster Club was created back in May of 2018 by a villages couple named Kathy and Pete Benetti, and some of you may know them. And they were associated with students at the school and with faculty, and through those interactions they learned that the school had needs that were unmet. Not a surprise in Florida. Probably most of Florida's schools have needs that are unmet, and with universal vouchers, that condition is going to be exacerbated. So they realized there was no PTA, there was no booster club, and there were needs. So they decided to have a meeting. They called a meeting, and 85 people came. So there was the indication that this was going to move forward. They decided that the club, as it was instituted, would support not just athletics, but all the areas of a school that impacted the lives of students. So it would include academics, arts, music, and any other areas of need that arose. The Booster Club currently has a website, which is wonderful. Wildwood Wildcat Boosters, and you can go there and find some of the things that I'm going to edit out today. But something that is important is to recognize that the Wildwood Wildcat Booster Club is a registered Florida nonprofit corporation, and it's a 501c3 charitable organization. It has a board of directors, and it primarily operates through several committees: the academics, the athletics, art and music, fundraising, and scholarships, and post-secondary prep. And of course, their mission is to help Wildwood Middle High School students succeed. I was going to read you the board of directors, however, you can go to that website and see pictures and names. But I would like to share with you that boosters are very active in tutoring and mentoring students. And mentors is a very close relationship that you can develop if you become a mentor. Students ask for mentors. They like the program. And a mentor visits with the students once a week, takes them to lunch, or goes to see them at their lunchtime. And it's another supportive person. Boosters award 10 grants and scholarships, and they administer 5 private scholarships. For example, a community member donated a scholarship for a student who's interested possibly in getting their commercial, the CDL, I have to go through the words, because it's not just going on to college, it is for other areas that the students might decide that they want to pursue, because we need trades, we need those different areas of work. Believe it or not, the boosters work very hard to raise $200,000 annually. And that is work that goes on with those wonderful merchant cards that I was pushing on some very generous people. And I have some more over here on the table. A gentleman in the Boosters Club came up with that idea, and boosters get the cards printed up. They're very popular. Local merchants, local businesses sign on to have their particular establishment put on the card, and then they provide a discount or something free donut, free ice cream cone, whatever. And we encourage people, if you're going to do business or you're going to, okay, the word's not there. If you're going to go to somebody's business and support them, we ask you to, if you have a booster card, that you support them, and you mention, hey, you're on my booster card, and that's why I'm here, and I, want to sample your food, or I want to know about getting my windows washed, or whatever. And that hopefully will encourage people. There are multiple booster cards. The Villages School has their own, and I understand there's one in Fruitland Park in Lake County. So if you are purchasing and you want to support Wildwood, you need to double check that that's the card you're purchasing. And let's see. The boosters supply meals for all traveling sports teams. So the kids get on the bus and they go to a meet at the end of the school day, and of course they're not going home, they're not getting dinner. So the boosters started, we have people who volunteer. Usually the athletic committee handles setting this up, but people will volunteer for a particular date. And I've made my share of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and you take them over to the high school, or you volunteer to go pick up sandwiches at Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie has an arrangement where they make up the tray of meat sandwiches, and you'll buy them, give your receipt to the boosters, take those sandwiches to the high school. We streamlined things so that you don't have to go buy Gatorade now or buy snack bars. They have all of that because the boosters would have reimbursed for that anyway, but still the sandwiches have to be picked up. But the idea is to feed the kids, because we want kids to be fed. Nutrition is important for the brain, the health, the well-being and functioning of a human being. There are a number of small funding requests for field trips, incentive programs. They do Wildcat of the Month awards. And I have a whole list of things that the school has requested, and the top one is this year the music department, which has a new first-year music teacher who's just been amazing, and the quality of the band's performances have improved. She requested a sousaphone, which was an unusual request, but someone was interested in that, and so Boosters purchased it, and that was $9,000. Without Booster Club, the school district would not have been able to purchase that. Boosters address the need for students to prepare them to leave Wildwood Middle High School. There's a new committee that formed this year, and it's called After Wildwood. Because if and Wildwood is like, I think it's like 80 or 90% Title I. So that gives you an idea of the economic background of the families of the students that go to our public high school. And Sumter County has South Sumter, which is also a public high school, and I think there are 3 elementary schools. But Boosters are strictly Wildwood Middle High School supporters. I wanted to mention again the merchant cards. They are the main source of funding, and Boosters sign up for a date and a place. You've probably seen us out in front of Publix or Winn-Dixie or Walmart. The adults do that. The student clubs apply to Boosters for cards. The Boosters buy all the cards, and if a club applies, they say how many cards they want to try to sell. The money that they earn goes into their particular club. They are working for them. And I bring that up so that you know that, but the high school recently lost Principal Heisey. He had been battling cancer for some time, and he died suddenly. It was totally unexpected. So they've been going through a period of mourning. However, I mention him not just for the sudden shock of the loss, but the fact that he really believed that we should not just hand things to the students, that they should understand the value of work and of earning. And I know that he was and would be so proud of the fact that they outraise money compared to the adults. They have enthusiasm, plus I think you folks in the community are out there to support them when you see them. Okay, something else that's important to know is, I was kidding with some people, what's the definition of a volunteer? A volunteer is a person who can't say no. And you've got to be careful or you wind up wearing all kinds of signs, but you do the things you love to do. You can volunteer. The Booster Club meets once a month. The next meeting will be April 17th. They have membership. They request $30, but they never go out to collect it from anyone. You're always welcome to come. They have 260 members, 100 of whom are active, and a number of those who are super active. That means there's a smaller group that's really doing way more and would welcome more volunteers. You can volunteer inside the school for different programs, or you can volunteer outside, for example, doing booster cards or feeding the teams that are going out to travel. If you work inside the school, and if you've been a teacher, you know that you have to get clearance. And what you get here is Raptor clearance. It's on the school board's website. You can fill out the application, and that process could take a while, could take a couple months. The school board has final approval, and if you decide that you're going to do that, and it's been a couple months and you haven't heard anything, you might want to get a hold of them. I think it was like 4 or 5 months, because I had done it originally to be part of Tutors for Kids, and then there was COVID. But I didn't hear anything and I contacted Sally Moss, who's on the school board, and she said, oh, I think that got approved some time ago. So it's always good to follow up when you're filling out applications to make sure that the process is moving along and yours has been accepted. And you absolutely need that. You can't be inside the school in a student's classroom during the school hours if you don't have Raptor clearance. However, for things like an assembly, or if they're doing a show or something, general public, parents, you're all invited. And I mention that because the end of the month, the end of May, they'll do their scholarship, their awards program where scholarships are awarded. Scholarships can be donated, like the gentleman who donated the truck driving scholarship. They can be donated by an individual for a particular individual or just to the scholarship fund. The scholarships, and I mentioned how many they give out. The last thing I want to close with is it's personal to me, not definitely personal. I don't know how many of you knew Alex Mariano. He was a longtime, hardworking DEC member. He had a heart attack in October, had a bypass, and he and I were celebrating the fact that he felt he had gotten a second lease on life. I went away on an anniversary cruise, and a couple of my friends sent me an email and said they hated to tell me via that way, but that he died suddenly. And when you volunteered with someone for so many hours, we traveled the back roads of Sumter County, going down lanes where we said to each other, do you think we should turn around because this doesn't, that wasn't booster work, that was DEC work. But I decided that I wanted to honor him in some way. And so what I'm doing is I'm contributing a scholarship in memory of Alex. And I plan to go to, thank you. I plan to go to the awards assembly and have my 1 minute to present that. Those are just some of the things. I know I ran through this, but I can tell you there's absolutely no talk of politics. I don't know who's a Democrat, who's a Republican. We're all a community in that group, and we work with the community for the benefit of the students. And I think that we're all better for that. So thank you so much. Is it the science fair that's at State right now?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, the kids are amazing. When if you remember what I said about being a Title I school, you think, oh gosh, those kids are just absolutely amazing in all areas if they have adult support and they have financial support. And that, as I said, HB1, which passed for universal vouchers, really gives me concern for our public schools, especially our community public schools. So thank you all so much. I know I can do a great job with this microphone.